Welcome to the lazyfluency podcast, where we have casual conversations switching between English and Japanese, so you can learn from and with us along the way. I'm Joey.
And I'm Yami.
And the topic of the day is...
Mana.
But before we get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and or drop a review on whatever platform you're listening on. We appreciate the support. And with that out of the way...
Mana. はい、始まりました、今週も。はい。
Yeah, go ahead.
で、今日はマナーについて話したいんですけど、じゃあマナーっていう言葉を聞いて、どういうものか、ちょっと想像できますか？
I mean, I'm assuming you're referring to, like, I guess, societal things that people expect you to do in given circumstances.
そうだね。そんな感じだね。で、ウィキペディアで調べると、マナーっていうのはね、ウィキペディアじゃないわ、ごめん。けど、なんかマナーっていうのは、社会生活をしていく上で守るべきルールのことで、その上司だったり、同僚、部下、お客様に対してどのように接するかっていうことが、っていう時にマナーっていうのが存在して、で、その人間関係とか仕事っていうのを円滑に進めるためのものって書いてあるんだよ。ちょっと長ったらしくて難しいかもしれないけど、そう。
Yeah.
そう。で、マナーは、私、個人的にマナーは必要だと思うんだけど、世の中にはね、変な、いや、それ必要みたいなマナーが結構あって、で、
In Japanese manners?
そう。で、とりあえずなんか、面白いっていうか、なんか、いるかみたいなのをちょっと上げていくので、なんか、リアクションとか、なんか意見とか言ってもらえると。
Okay,
はい。
cool, yeah. Give me, what's the first one we're talking about? Or is it a setting or what?
そう、なんか、最初は、じゃあ、なんか日本文化だと、上座とか、下座っていう、なんだっけ？どこに、上司とかボスが座って、どこに、下々の、後輩ね、が座るかっていうのが決まってるらしいんだよ。
Well, yeah, I'm actually aware at least of the table ones, or at least the sitting at a table.
そう。
From my understanding, the further away you are from the door, the higher up in position you are. And is that correct? Like if there's a door, then the head or the boss would be on the furthest table from the door.
そう。多分合ってると思う。
And then like it goes from right, I think is the right second in command, and then it goes like left on the other side. I can't remember.
ちょっと私もね、恥ずかしながらね、もう詳しくはよくわかってないんだけど。
Oh, I only know because it showed up in like had a Japanese film class at one point, and the professor pointed it out.
そうなんだ、教えてもらった？
Yeah, he's like.
そうか、それで。
Yeah, this is the, yeah, go ahead.
で、なんか、不思議だなって思ったのが、タクシーあるじゃん？タクシーで、助手席と後部座席ってあるでしょ？
Yeah.
で、上座っていうのが、ボスが座るべきところって、運転手の後ろらしい。
Behind him?
そう。で、
not shotgun.
そう。で、普通ってさ、よく考えればさ、助手席が一番広いでしょ？空いてる席
I mean, that's why people in America like it. Yeah, you get like a lot of foot space.
そう。だから、さっきのマナーの定義、なんていうの？社会を潤滑に進めたりとか、目上の人を、なんていうの？敬わったりとか、そういった面で、助手席に座らせるべきじゃない？ボスとかは。そしたら、一番広いし。
I mean, that's like I said, that's where I prefer sitting.
そう。で、そのマナーとしては助手席じゃないらしいんだよ。 で、じゃあそれマナーじゃなくない？なんか、定義と違うじゃんって思うんだけど。
I think, and I might be misremembering, but I believe like the shotgun seat is also one that you're very likely to die if you're sitting in.
あ、そうだね。
If you get into a car crash.
確かに。
So maybe, I mean, I highly doubt that plays a, you know, maybe it does. Maybe it's like a thing where if there's a sniper, the sniper won't be able to hit you as easily because the driver's body's in front of you or something.
そうだね。運転手の後ろの席が一番事故に遭った時に、怪我はしにくいっていうのは、まああるから、まあそれなのかな？それからなのかわかんないけど。ね。あと、今だとさ、オンラインのね、会議とか多分あると思うんだけど、そこでもなんか位置によって違うらしいんだよ、私もよくわかんないけど、特定の位置に上司が来るように設定するとか、まあどうでもいいじゃん、そんな。画面の位置でさ、
For taxis? Or what are you saying?
オンライン会議。オンラインの今、コロナ。
wait. What? Hold up. Wait. You mean like a Zoom, like the Zoom video feeds?
そう。で、なんか。
That's so... Wait. So how does is it like the first... They have somebody like... Hold up. I'm confused on many levels. I thought for like most of those, the like little sections on the Zoom screen were like, you can arrange it how you want to see it on your screen. Like I personally can move your box here and move it here. So
動かせるのあれ？
What exactly is the point?
多分私もどうやって動かしてるのかよくわかってないんだけど、なんか
I don't know if you can move it for everybody unless the host has that power.
そう多分
Maybe they do.
ホストが決めてんのかなわかんないけど。
That's hilarious. So wait, did you look up more into what that was? I'm curious to see what like the specific positions would be.
ちょっと待ってね。私そこまでちょっと待ってね。じゃあ調べてみる
？Oh, I mean, it's fine. I think you have a bunch of different examples, so I'm just curious. Is it like upper left is the boss, and then I'm confused though because there's so many different options. There's like the carousel where they like are at the top of the screen, and like you can like shift through them, and then there's like the sidebar where they only take up one part of the screen. What's the proper Japanese Zoom settings?
ちょっと待ってね。Zoom?
Are you looking it up?
Zoom が、まあ、日本の、その上座とかを考慮して、そういう変えられる設定を追加したんじゃなくて、利便性を考えて、入れたらしい。必ずしも日本の文化のためではなくて、そういう機能があったら嬉しいよねっていうことで、その順番を変えられる設定を、
so this is like, they're like, we can't have our table, our proper manners in Zoom. So this is like you need like a Japanese Zoom.
そう。
That's so funny. Oh my god. That's like, that is the most Japanese thing I've heard all week. So like, this is the most, no other country would want that feature. Maybe, I don't know if Korea has that thing. That's hilarious.
普通に気になるんだけど、どこが上座なんだろう。ちょっと待って。なんか
is kamiza referring to like 上の漢字 or like 神様の漢字？
違う。上に、
座席。I could have seen it either way. Like the God seat or like the one above, yeah.
会議中は偉い人を画面上で固定だって。だから上の方にいた方が偉いらしい。
That's hilarious.
ねえ。先に入った方が上になんじゃないの？普通は。わかんないけど。なんかどうでもいいよね。なんかこういうさ。
Yeah, I do think that is how it gets decided. So maybe then you can't click the link. You have to open up a separate Discord so that you can then tell everybody to come one. Actually, no, the person who's the host, I guess, has to accept in the correct order.
そうだね。めんどくさいね。それだったらさ、もうそんな順番決める前にさっさとさ、会議始めてさ、やった方が効率的じゃない？なんか。 理解できない。
This is where I wish you had experienced being like a salary man or something, because I feel like there's like, so when we decided to do an episode on manners, it's actually extremely it's easy in the sense that there's so many but like situations, but at the same time there's literally so many different sections of manners. Like whether it be like food or like work or like senpai kohai, like in at school, or like I bet there's one for like almost everything you could probably think about.
そうそうそう、本当に全部にあってさ、例えばまあよく会社
I saw one that has stamps. Are you going to talk about this? I saw something in our file that we have that has stamps. Is that real?
そうそう、なんかこれちょっと今聞いてくれてる人は多分見えないと思うんで、まあ多分じゃなくて絶対見えないんだけど、お辞儀ハンコって言って、お辞儀ってこれね、バウのことね。で、お辞儀ハンコで、例えば、
Oh, you know what? We have a video, so people can't see it. I'll use this little pin to demonstrate. There's a little
変なのを出さないのも。
Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh.
趣味爆発
Imagine this is a stamp. So we have so I'm holding a little pin with a Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh on it. And basically the first hanko, which is a stamp, like a Japanese stamp for business, would be straight like that, like completely straight. Then the next one for the person like second in command would be tilted at like a 30-degree angle forward, and that would be them bowing to the previous stamp. And then the next one would bow even further, and it just goes on. So when you have all the stamps side by side, you literally have a line of stamps, and it's the person's name. So in reality, it'll be like Tanaka is the boss, and then like, what's the other Japanese name? I can never think of anything but Tanaka. Yamada. Takahashi. Yeah. And then Takahashi will be the next stamp bowing towards Yamada. Have you seen this before? Is this actually a thing?
なんからしいよ。私も、まあ、会社に行ってるわけじゃないから、本当に実際そういうやってるのかわかんないけど、ね、もう、いらなくない？そういうの。誰も、例えばさ、ジョイみたいにそういう文化を知らない人にさ、こういうことを知ってあげてもさ、なんか何も思わないじゃん。ね。あ、私敬われてるとか思わないじゃん。
I mean, I definitely think it's BM if my name was like sideways. BM means bad manners, but
よくないってこと？
like if no, it seemed like something's off. Like if I had a stamp with, or sorry, like maybe let's see, if my signature, because that's kind of the U.S. equivalent, was like they said you have to write that like vertically so it goes sideways, and I had to show somebody my signature like that, they would think I have like some sort of mental issue. They'd be like, what happened? And I'd be like, I was trying to write it and my hand slipped, and then they took it away from me and I couldn't change it.
ね。
So and then it'd be even worse when I said, oh no, my boss told me to do this, because I have to show my I have to submit, or what's it called, I have to be docile to my or subordinate to my boss.
だから、まあ当然こういう、まあハンコ自体がそもそもアメリカにないからね。まあこういう文化はないと思うけど。あと。
I was just thinking if they had like a class attendance, you know, like the paper with everybody's names. I think it'd be funny if they had every, like the teacher's favorite student, and it goes all the way down, and their names are just like turning 100 or 360 degrees.
逆立ちしちゃってんじゃん。そうそう。まあ
the person who's least like has their name completely upside down on the roll call sheet.
逆立ちして頭に血が上らせてね。ね、まあお仕置きということで、まあ何言ってるかわかんないわ。
Well, wait, no, on the name tags. Don't they have name tags like on their desks in Japan?
あ、名簿？
Or do they not have that? In the US, sometimes they have that.
あるね、名簿ある。そう。
That is when it gets hilarious. If they have like their actual like name tags upside down. Like Tanaka's kanji are upside down. And then you have Yamada's like completely normal. And like depending on who has better grades, they adjust them.
もう straight A plus.
I'm not sure if you have anything about this or you know, but like because I know that they put people's grades like for a lot of high schools up on a giant board. It's also another classic anime thing.
なんかね、
is there like are there manners like for people who have like the best grades in your class?
何その出すことが
No. So like they reveal the grades and they're like, oh, this is person number one. Are there like manners for the number one student? You're like, oh, that the number one student's there. We all need to bow.
No. さすがにそういうことはしないけど。
That's a missed opportunity.
でも、最近だと学校によっても多分違うと思うけど、名前と成績を出すのはプライバシーの観点から、良くないっていうのは、私の学校はそうだったから、その1位誰とかは、廊下には飾られてなかったね。何点とかは。
Is that becoming more, what's more common, what's the most common like type of school right now, do you know?
何成績に関して
Yeah, like in terms of like putting people's names on a giant board.
そうしないかもしれない。
You don't think they do it anymore? It wasn't just your school?
しない。
What are all these anime are lying to me?
いや、なんて言うんだろう。なんか、その、名前と、成績が一致しないように、例えば、田中さんっていう人が1位だったら、田中さん、何点とか言わずに、田中さんすごかったねとか、あともうそもそもやっぱ言わないかも。なんか、生徒間だけでの噂になるのかな。田中は95点取ったとか。そうね、なんかない、そういうレビューをすることはプライバシーがだから、そう。
After this, I kind of want to look it up because I know those anime scenes with the giant board. Okay, those shows, no, those were just people who passed, actually, now that I think about it.
でしょ、
right?
パスでしょ、
like,
点数じゃないでしょ
Yeah, pass. It's not their actual score. That's a good point.
で
That's a good point.
面白いのがさ、私の今大学は、名前はわからないけど、その学籍番号が与えられるのね。で、学籍番号と、
Yeah.
祭祀そう、なんていうの、フェオは書かれてんだけど、名前はわからないっていう。でも、後からは名前わかるじゃん。番号を見てさ、1番は誰々だからとか、後で確認できるじゃん。Yeah. なんか意味ないな、みたいな。
I mean, I guess it's kind of like, if you don't ever share your number. No, okay, so actually, yeah, this system doesn't work at all because from what I understand, and when I've seen you message some of your like friends, you guys actually use each other's numbers like you're all inside a prison system or something. What's up with that? Like your emails to your professor?
まあ、ね、
And like I've seen some of your friends like say I'm XY42.
友達同士でやんないよ。最初のその自己紹介の時に、後輩が言ってくるかもしれない。なんでかっていうと、その学籍番号でその学年がわかるから。で、最初の。
This system doesn't work. That's the same thing as putting people's names out at that point. If you have to introduce yourself, this is my prison number. Feel free to look it up when the tests are. Yeah, because for your school, they show everybody who passes and fails on every single test.
まあね。
And so you pretty much know who passes and fails
まあね、そう
for every test.
意味ないなとは思うけど、まあね。まあいいや、なんか全然関係ない話に路線がずれてったけど、まあいいや。で、じゃ最後ちょっと時間、もうちょいで、アメリカのマナーみたいながあって、どういうマナーがあるのかを調べてみたら、結構、なんだろう、やっぱチップを払わないっていうのはマナー違反らしいね。
Yeah, I mean, we had a whole tipping episode, but
ね。
which is one of the least popular episodes. I think it's because people, it just like even seeing a title has to do with tipping, just like triggers Americans, and they're like, I don't even want to think about somebody who's talking about tipping. I mean, maybe, yeah, you were saying with the manners.
ね、あとは、口に手を当てて笑うとかも、まあよく日本人っていうかアジア人なのかわかんないけど、こうやって笑うときに、とかよくするじゃん。よくするのよ。
Yeah.
それは、 マナー違反なのらしいの
I don't know I don't think that's maybe I literally have never heard of that. Even in America, I think of like, when you think of like girls laughing, it's like tee hee hee with your hand covering your mouth.
それは OK?
So, as far as I know, you can feel free to laugh with your hand covering your mouth. Also eating food like that. I mean, I think in my head that's only like a woman thing to do. I'm not entirely sure.
確かにね。確かに。女の人がやるのかな。で、あとは、お皿を持って食事をする。まあ、これはやっぱね、日本人っていうかアジア人ってよくさ、お椀だったら持つのかな。で、アメリカとかまあ、欧米とかまあ他の地域もあるかもしれないけど、お皿を持って食事をするのはマナー違反なんだね。
I'm trying to think if I can think of an exception. I mean, not at a dinner. Yeah, that'd be weird at a dinner table if you're picking up your, like, yeah, if you're picking up your plate with food in it. That's. But, I mean, but you still can eat stuff with your hands, like burgers and fries and other stuff, though. So.
平たいお皿だとダメなのかな
I think it's like if I'm trying to think what would I think is okay. If it's a bowl, it's okay.
ボールは OK でしょ
Yeah, if it's a flat plate seems weird.
なんで
Yeah, I feel like if there's so okay.
なんかルールってなんか不条理。なんでさ、ボールはいいのにさ、
I feel like I had a bowl, I understand. To some degree, because just with the bowl by itself, you can reduce like you can have it's like a cup where you can easily eat it without, like you can cover your mouth and face because the bowl's curved. So people don't have to see you eating. And it also doesn't make that much noise because everything slides properly. I can't imagine how you would use a flat plate. Like, what, are you tipping like a plate on, and then just like having everything hit your face?
待って。So you're saying, ボールだったら食べてる口が見えないから隠すのにいいからってこと？
Plus, if you are eating anything, it's most likely a liquid or something, and like, it'll actually be directed into your mouth.
No.
So it makes
ご
sense.
飯。だってご飯、お茶碗、ご飯の白いお米。
Well, you're not turning rice up to your hand.
でもここぐらいまで持ってって、箸でこうやって食べんだよ。
Yeah. That, I feel like, is not... In my head, what truly is the breaking manners is if you like tip a plate into your mouth, like, or you like lick the plate or anything like that.
それはエクストリームだけど、ね、でも、なんか、ボールはいいのに、文化によって違うのもね、なんか、そもそもこのマナーの今日のテーマやろうと思ったのが、なんでマナーって誰決めたんだよって思って、そう。
戻りました。ついに隔離から出ることが、できた。やった。
So,
今、隔離といっても、ほとんどの数がコロナにかかっちゃったから、本当に隔離じゃなかった。みんなマスクをつけたんだけど、もちろんなんか、レストランとかに行かなかったんだけど、本当に隔離してた気分しなかった。でも、一応、ついに、マスクをつけながら、他のところ、私の家以外のところに行ける。すごく、解放された気分。
Yeah. So how long was it in total for quarantine?
CDC によると、5日間隔離しなくちゃいけない上で、その5日間後の時間、もうなんか6日間から10日間まで マスクつけながら、隔離しなくていいんだけど、マスクを絶対につけなくちゃいけないという、まあ、なんていう、ルールじゃないんだけど、おすすめがあった。
What if you break that rule?
何も起こらないと思う。
Okay. Just it's manner, right?
政府は、まあ、6ヶ月間前に、まあ、4ヶ月間前に、そういう、政府はそのことに関しては何もできないと思う。強制できないと思う。
Yeah, true, true. So, like,
日本では何もできないでしょ、
yeah.
その政府から。アメリカではできたと思うんだけど、ある最高裁判所の人が、まあ、人というか、そういう、ケースがあって、で、結局、ダメになっちゃった。なんか、その国から、まあ、アメリカの、システムができないらしい。今。
It's funny, we have to quarantine for 10 days. I don't know if it's true. Yeah, right now, but yeah, 10 days if you got tested positive. Yeah.
旅行してる、日本に入国するときに隔離しなくちゃいけないの？
I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, we have to look it up. Yep.
まあ、わかんない。
Well, I guess like because Japanese government is kind of strict, so maybe when foreigners come into Japan, then they have to quarantine for certain days.
動画見たんだけど、記憶が正しければ隔離しなくていいと思う。
Oh, really?
その
Not even
COVID の
one
テスト
day?
がダメ。
Okay.
ないと思う。
Zero?
まあ、ワクチンを受けた場合、まあ、プラス、そのテストが、
Negative?
陽性じゃなかった場合、
陰性?
全然、
Okay.
じゃない。
Yeah, so that means 陰性。
隔離。
Okay.
そう、陰性。まあ、入国できる。
Okay.
隔離しなくても。でもわかんない。
I heard Japan right now.
どうぞ。
Japan right now has the most positive case. Is that right? The right way of saying it? Yeah. In the world. Yeah, I heard. So.
誰からそんなこと聞いたの？絶対に間違ってるの。絶対に違うと思う。
Website? Yeah.
どんなウェブサイト？なんか NHK が
I don't know, Google News? I don't know.
ほとんどの国はもう隔離してなくて、ただなんかコロナと一緒に住んでることになってるんだから、日本はそんなに、その数字が正しければ多分違うことになんか特別な、なんかこの1週間で日本は一番なんか新しいケースが多かったみたいなことだったかもしれない。でも全体的にそういうなんか総合データに関しては絶対にそういう状況じゃないと思う。
Yeah, and America has more people.
アメリカは一番そんなことに関して。
Yeah. Yep. But finally, yeah, you can enjoy your normal life. Yeah.
ね、私は走れないんだけど、あいみは走れるでしょ？
Well, yeah, but right now I'm having this trouble that my skin, how do I say, is chafed. Yeah, yeah, like around chest area, because when I run, that area is kind of like, how do I say, is
T シャツに触っちゃう。
Yeah, right.
T シャツじゃなくて、
like,
摩擦が多い。
Yeah, friction. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, yesterday I ran about 10 kilometers, and when I go for a long run, the time that the clothes have friction between to my on my skin. Oh my god, my English is so bad. But it's longer, so yeah, I got this how do I say scar? Yeah, on my skin, and it really hurts. So I wanted to run longer, but I couldn't because it hurts. Yeah.
それで、そのことに関して、なんか、私が新しいことを習った。こういう話、まあ、Amazon の話したことあると思うんだけど、そのクレジットカードなしのエピソードで、クレジットカードなしというか、日本では現金使わなくちゃいけないエピソードで。でも、Amazon じゃなくて、コンビニで、なんか Amazon.jp 使えるらしい。
Yeah, but technically, so you buy stuff on Amazon.jp and you can choose how you pay. And there's credit cards, debit cards, Amazon gift cards, something like that. So, and in Japan, Japanese Amazon, we can choose to pay at a convenience store using cash.
コンビニでわら。
Yeah, so they are like a middleman. Yeah. And they pay for, so we pay cash first and they pay.
でもどうやってするの？最初にそのコンビニで払うという設定を選んで、
Yep.
で、なんかその設定を選んでから何が起こる？なんかいつ払わなくちゃいけないの？
Email and saying you have to pay at a convenience store and then you get a code.
どこでもいいの？なんかローソンとか。
Yeah,
どこで
Lawson,
もいい？
セブンイレブン, forgot, mini stop, I don't know. Yeah. Several, convenience stores. And you get a code and you pay at a cashier. Yeah, at a convenience store. Yeah. That's it.
で
So,
そのコードを上げて、
yeah.
お金を出す。
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, I'm a person who wants to use cash because there's some reason I don't want to use a credit card. So,
いや、なんか、どういうシステム、多分なんか、ローソンとファミリーマートとほとんどのコンビニはなんか、Amazon と取引がある。
Yeah, I guess.
契約みたいなことがあって、それで、なんか、コンビニ払うときに、その、ローソンのクレジット、まあ銀行から Amazon にお金を出してるかな？わかんない。変なシステムだね。
I don't know how that works.
初めて聞いた。その、アメリカではそんなことない。なんか、7-Eleven。まあ、一応、アメリカでは 7-Eleven あるんだけど、Amazon で何も買えないと思う。やったことないと思うんだけど、まあ、と思うというか、絶対にやったことない。
You guys can use credit cards and, like, that's the only thing you use, right? You don't use cash, so maybe that's... 絶対にそのシステムは便利じゃない。でも私が面白いと思うのは、その絶対になんか誰かが、Amazon ではみんなクレジットカード持てないから、どうやって人が私たちの商品を買えるという謎があった。で、結局、誰かが、みんなコンビニで全部買うから、そのコンビニを通して Amazon で、物事を買えたら、すごく、なんていうか、お金になりそうとか。 Yeah. And also,
偉いね、その誰かさんが。
Convenience stores can have benefits to have people paying in for Amazon at their stores because when they go to convenience stores, they tend to buy some stuff at the convenience store. So win-win situation. Yeah.
コンビニについてのエピソードやったことある？
Nope. We should do that. Yeah. Sometimes.
絶対にやりたい。
Yeah.
なんか、日本のコンビニはすごく、まあ、みんなが知ってることはもちろんそうだけど、まあ、たくさんの食べ物とか持っていたりして、 とか。
Yeah.
でもその他のことがたくさんあるので、
Yeah.
まあ、来週かなわかんない。考えてみる。
Okay, yeah,
そ
yeah,
の
yeah, yeah. It's
す
yeah,
ごく面白い
definitely.
トピックになりそうと思うんだけど。
American 7-Eleven is ugh,
あ、いや、
much
絶対に違う。
different. Yeah. Yeah.
で、どこで、セブンイレブンはアメリカで始まったの？日本のもの、なんか今思うときに日本のものだと思ってしまうんだけど、そうではないと思う。最初は。
Really? セブンイレブン。Ah, maybe. Should I look it up right now?
あ、セブンイレブンの歴史調べなくていいよ。
セブン。
でも一応そういうなんか走ってる時になんていうか擦れないように走れるための道具とかシステムをしてる人ならぜひそのなんかコメントで感想を書いてくださいね。この問題は2ヶ月どのぐらい続いてるの？
Yeah, I've been having this
今まで
problem for, I don't know,
3
3 months?
ヶ月間
4 months? I don't
う
know.
ん、そう。
Yeah. Oh, I just look it up. And セブンイレブンは1927年にアメリカで創業している。Ooh. Why America?
7-Eleven, 7 days a week, 11 hours a day?
No, I guess like
11はどういう意味持ってんの？
opens at 7 and close at,
Oh, 11 p.m.?
I don't know.
日本の 7-Eleven はいつ閉めるの？
What do you mean?
まあ、コンビニは。24時間の店だと思ってたんだけど。
Yeah, it
ほとんどの
depends on
コンビニ
the store. Yeah. Oh, and セブンイレブンはアメリカで生まれたコンビニエンスストアですが、朝7時から夜11時まで営業していったことからセブンイレブンという名前になりました。
ああ、なるほど。
It was, it started from Texas. It was a small, how do I say? 小売商売販売店。So it was selling.
小売商売販売店。
Oh my god, I forgot to say 氷 in English. 氷ってなんだっけ？
氷の漢字は何？
氷。水が凍ったもの、氷。Ice cube?
水が凍ったもの。Oh, that 氷。Oh, yeah, like ice cube. Yeah, ice cubes.
So, yeah, so 7-Eleven was originally selling ice cubes in Texas. So that time, people didn't have fridges, so they were selling, that. Oh, but yeah, well, we can do this like sometime. Yeah, talking about convenience
this is
stores.
the sneak really, peek into a kombini breakdown.
Yeah.
And we're back with the final section.
Yay.
If you have any comments, questions, language related and or otherwise, please send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com and we might respond in the next episode. This episode, we have 2 different comments we want to respond to.
ありがとうございます。
One, yeah, thanks. A lot. Well, we'll thank you again when we go through your comments. But one was on YouTube, so that would not be lazyfluency@gmail.com. But the other one was through lazyfluency@gmail.com, which I will keep repeating, so you decide to write a comment or send us a message. Also, Apple review. The first person to give us an Apple review, we will shout you out. No, I'm saying we will shout out the first person to give us an Apple review.
Apple,
yeah.
ポッドキャストでね、Apple Podcasts で聞いてる人、ぜひぜひレビュー今1個もないのでね、ぜひね、一番最初に
It makes me sad.
書いてくれた人はね、シャラウトするので、まあ一番最初じゃなくても、まあみんなシャラウトするんだけど。特に
We'll shout you out twice.
そうそう、2回するから。
But we'll do it twice.
サービスしちゃいますよ、もう。
Okay, I got it. We'll shout you out at the beginning of the episode.
最初にね、もうみんなが、エピソード始まる前にシャラウトするから、まあ、かなりのお得な情報ですので、皆さん逃さないでください。タイムセール中、そう。
Yeah. So the first comment I'm gonna go with is one on YouTube, from someone we replied to before, but like it's a follow up from something that we previously talked about from last episode, and I wanted to talk about part of it. So I'll read it. I said it's fun to see. It's from Shawcox. So it's fun to see you guys. I did listen on Spotify before it came to YouTube, so I didn't see your faces the whole time, but I'm excited to see things change and progress. I need to watch the Japanese fixing video, so look out for me there too. You guys should all check that out if you haven't already. On YouTube, lazyfluency. As for commentary on the content, I'm interested to see how much longer Japanese lifespans, which are notably higher than the US, would be if they added water to the diet. The tea is always good to have around for longevity, and I think that generally better food and walking everywhere does some good too. Just gotta add water, and then we can find the optimized human right. Carry bottles. I have multiple from many situations I find myself in because water is good. And to that, I would say thank you for the comment. And the reason I mainly want to talk about this is that I don't think how should I say this? I think Okinawans have the longest lifespan of anybody in the world, from what I remember. And I need to know. I'm pretty sure they do. I think Okinawan women have the longest lifespan of on average. Yeah. You can check me, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And I wonder if they're actually debunking maybe water isn't as good as I thought it was. Because he's suggesting that with water they'd live even longer, which I would wager is probably true. But I mean, maybe Okinawans do drink water. They like culturally came from a different. They're like the Ryukyu.
沖縄女の人はね、86歳でトップ。男の人は長野で79歳。
7-year difference.
意外と。
I think that's pretty normal between men and women.
全国平均はね、男の人78歳。78.79 だからまあ大体79歳。女の人は 85.75。すごいね。長生きだね、やっぱり。
Yeah. So, what do you know? I'm wondering. Because they have a different. The Okinawa stems from like the Ryukyu tribe or whatever, people who lived in like those islands, and so I'm wondering maybe they have a habit of drinking water, and it was the mainland Japan that had this tea thing. Do you know any Okinawans?
何が?
Do you know any Okinawans? Like any people from Okinawa? Any Japanese from Okinawa?
まあ、私関東に住んでるから沖縄の人は知らないよ。友達でもいないよ。
Well, it's like it's not that like Japan isn't like you have to say just because you're living in Okinawa, it's still like you could train there today if you wanted to. It's not that far away. I know Okinawans and I don't even live in Japan.
沖縄の知り合いいる?
Yeah, well, Shidiai toyuka. I've met somebody when I was in Japan from Okinawa, and I've also like talked to some people from Okinawa before, and as well as there's a person in Okinawa like that I've met in my local area. But they specifically say they're not Japanese because they're older, and there's a whole like history there with
Ryukyu
Okinawa. Yeah. Which is like. Yeah, there's a whole history there. It's kind of like, for those who don't know, there are like three, there might be more, but in Japan, there are like three major groups of kind of people living there that evolved, which is like the downside with Okinawa, or like lower side of Japan, which Okinawa, and that used to be its own separate thing, and then it got colonized by... yeah, and then there's a whole history of it being independent, then it being I think a vassal state under China, and then mainland Japan taking over Okinawa while it's a vassal state of China, and then eventually Japan bringing Okinawa into all of Japan. And then for northern Japan, something similar, except with less China, from what I understand, happened with the Ainu people. But because of that, you have some like people from Okinawans who still don't really identify as Okinawan, and the same thing is true with Ainu. Yeah, so fun facts there. But yeah, thanks for the comment. I wonder, I just want to believe that Okinawans drink more water, and that's the reason they live longer, and it doesn't, because if they're drinking only tea, then maybe drinking water isn't as good as I thought.
違う、まあこれさ、普通にさ、ウォーターだけじゃなくてさ、やっぱり見るとね、だいたい、でもさ、多分、ウォーターじゃないよ。京都男の人ね、7位だもん。で、東京5位だよ。神奈川3位だもん。普通に関東の人たちもね、上位に入ってきてるから。で、女の人は、
Okay, so, you know, it is, maybe it, you know, how many more years do you think if everybody drinks water? So you replace like 50% of the tea drinking with water. Do we get like an extra 2 years in average life expectancy?
それはないでしょ。で、まあ水もまあ大事だけど、あとは、なんだろう、その、普段の生活じゃない、その運動だったり、正しい生活習慣、食事とかね。
Yeah.
田舎の方がやっぱりね、その野菜とか多分きちっと取ってるから、女の人はやっぱり沖縄、島根、熊本、岡山、長野がトップ5だから、なんかちょっと、まあ一応悪いけど田舎の方だからさ。
Well, yeah, the life is slow, the weather is good, relatively speaking. I think they have better senses of community, although I would say, so check out the rural places of Japan. But not only can you not travel to Japan, when Japan eventually does open up, I'm pretty sure that people from rural Japan are not going to want people in there because they don't want current Japanese people from big cities to come to rural areas. So hopefully, like, honestly, I mean, we keep talking about it, but like, I could see there being a thing where like, you can't go to rural Japan even like 3 years from now.
ねえ、なんかね。今もその新しいなんていうの株っていうそのオミクロン株だったじゃん前今何株かわかんないけどさ
yeah.
だんだんね増えてってるからやばいからねどうなんだろうね。
And then our next this was an email from lazyfluency@gmail.com. 1 second.
これどうしよっか。Are you gonna read this?
Oh, yeah, no, I'll read it. Yeah, it's like mixed in English and Japanese.
Yeah, English.
So,
日本語と英語混ざってるからね。
Yeah, normally I read Japanese ones, I read English
じゃあ私日本語のとこ読む
1 second, I'm adjusting something. Apologies, everyone listening. Can you hear me? Cool. Okay, so we'll read the comment. This was from Matt, who I think was Matt the person who did the comment from last week?
そうそう、アメリカンチーズのね、正しい使い方を教えてくれた。
Yeah. So we thought basically that his dad was putting American cheese on pizza, well, basically cooking it with pizza, which is a slight misunderstanding, or we thought that might have been a possibility. And then so he wrote back because we completely misunderstood what he wrote. So I'll read the email. So my father-in-law does not eat pizza nor macaroni and cheese made with American cheese. That's such a grotesque notion that I was incapable of foreseeing that my words could possibly be interpreted to mean that. I just share your disdain for American cheese, and I wanted to convey that my father-in-law eats dog-grade cheese, and only dog-grade cheese. His hyper-insensitive sensitive palate is probably also offended by the dough, sauce, and macaroni noodles in those dishes too. But because of that, I keep my American cheese in my fridge for when he visits. It never spoils as it is not actually food. The thing is, my dog manages to spit out his pill with all the usual medication techniques, even gooped in a wad of peanut butter. He'll suck on it until it reaches the pill and spit it back out. Google says cheese is dog safe, but even if it weren't, my dogs need their medications and the mushy American cheese envelope works. And of course, as an added bonus, I get to refer to my father-in-law's food as it is only fit for dogs. But yeah, so that was the email from Matt, and I'm very happy to hear that your father doesn't eat American cheese pizza. I'm curious to see what that would taste like now, though. That sounds kind of horrible, but...
まずい。
And he doesn't even like pizza in the first place, is what it sounds like. They don't like dough or anything else like that. That is very disappointing. You haven't ever tried American cheese, right?
なんかね、わかんない。したかもしんないし、してないかもしんない。わかんない。
It's like literally, it's just like a square of extremely thin. It's like a perfect square that's extremely thin of cheese, and you have to take it out of a plastic like container. It's a very tight plastic wrapping. You go like, and then nothing. No, not ringing any bells.
まあ、なんか意識してさ、ある。これ美味しまあ、美味しくはないけど別にまずくはない気がするよ。チェダーと似てるじゃん。
I'm curious about, he said it never spoils. Is that actually true? I know there's like a thing about like McDonald's ice cream or something, or McDonald's something. Maybe it is their ice cream like not melting or something like that. Or no. It's their meat never rotting with like McDonald's burgers or something. So you don't need to refrigerate them or something like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if American cheese like literally just doesn't spoil. I don't even know what it's made out of. I'm assuming there's some degree of milk in there probably.
これやっぱチェダーチーズだよ。アメリカンチーズって。
What do you... It says cheddar cheese. It doesn't taste... It tasted like no cheddar cheese I've ever had. It just... I guess it looks cheddar.
アメリカンチーズ。多分チェダーだよ。加工チーズは腐らないって書いてあるね。やっぱあまりに多くの保存量が入っているから。
That is disgusting. I guess normal cheese, though, doesn't really... It molds naturally, but I don't think that's what it's saying with American cheese. It doesn't...
それ聞いたら、もうこれから食べれなくなるな。
I thought you said you don't know if you even eat American cheese.
でもこれ食べたことあるわ。プロセスチーズ。
Yeah,
ナチュラルチーズを加熱してね、乳化させてるんだ。
It does get grosser than this, though. You can get like, there's cheese that can be sprayed out of a bottle. I can't remember what it's called. Like cheese whip or something. Cheese it. Or, no, not cheese it. I can't remember. But you can basically go like whipped cream and shoot cheese out of it.
それはやだ。
That is the most that is the most disgusting cheese that I know that exists.
それはいいかもしれない。
What is it called? Yeah, but people have loved it. I don't know if it's currently still popular or not, but...
多分普通に食べたことあるわ。もうこれから食べれない。
Yeah. Well, I actually have to head off pretty soon, so I think we'll call it here. Thanks, and send us an email at lazyfluency@gmail.com, please. Please. Also, Apple Podcast, you'll get a shout out at the front start of the episode. Please. That bell means we've reached the end of today's episode. Thanks for joining us in another lazy conversation towards fluency. If you have any language-related questions and or just looking for general advice, send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com and we might respond in the next episode. Also, make sure to check out our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more. We'd appreciate the support. This has been Joey.
Nayami.
Signing off. じゃあねー。
じゃあねー。